Hello and welcome to the AllMadeUp podcast with me, Harry Stachini.
And me, Ben Hart.
We just wanted to say a heartfelt apology to our companion and the other part of this three-man midfield, Lewis Coleman, for not being here over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, we have been really letting the side down, to be quite honest, I think. I think he's, well, if he wasn't stood right behind the camera, I don't think I'd be saying this. But, he's been pulling this podcast through this past couple of weeks, I think.
He's told us if we don't do this, we're in the reserves.
Yeah,
and
he's replaced us.
Yeah, exactly. But we just wanted to say we do apologise. We do appreciate him. I was away. I was in a different continent, enjoying myself. And Ben,
I was incontinent.
You were?
No.
Ben,
No. I was having some teeth. I had 4 teeth taken out. So Lewis did say that it was the same as oh God, who else? Who had the teeth taken out in the early episode?
Liam Pickford.
Liam Pickford. He had 1 tooth taken out. I had 4 at once. I was walking down the streets of Fallowfield looking like I've just eaten somebody.
Well, you sent us a video
in
the group chat of you with the anaesthetic at its peak, I would say.
Yeah, and if you want it, I'll share it on the story. Yeah, I'll share it on our socials.
Don't.
It was awful.
But we just wanted to say we do apologise. If you've missed us, we're back. You know what I mean? And we've got a belter of an episode for you today. It was recorded at the Edinburgh Fringe. So we're doing a quick intro here, but you'll get the proper one there. And it was actually only me and Lewis in this episode because I think you were in France.
I was still in France, yeah. I was gutted to have missed this one again. It was, I've already listened to it. It sounds great, so...
Yeah, it's going to be good. And we want to say thank you very much to everyone that's been watching and listening to the podcast. We're really trying to push our YouTube page at this moment in time. And we've had a nice little spike in the numbers there. But please do, if you're watching it, subscribe to the YouTube page. Because the bigger the page gets, the more we can do with the podcast.
Yeah, the more content we can put out, the more stuff we can do, yeah.
Exactly. And then the next time any of us get teeth out, we can go private.
Yeah. Hey, 43 quid, it wasn't bad.
Really?
Yeah.
That is not bad.
It took me 5 years.
Sure, it was a dentist.
It took me 5 years to get on the waiting list, but 43 quid's still a deal. So.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Do enjoy today's episode. This is AllMadeUp with JoJo Sutherland.
It's all made up again. Yeah. It's all made up again. It's all made up again. It's all made up again.
Hello and welcome to the AllMadeUp podcast with me, Harry Stachini.
Me, Lewis Coleman.
And no Ben Hart. This show where each week a guest joins us in the writer's room to create a story like you and we have never heard before.
Not quite knowing what's around the corner or what we'll find along the way, as this podcast is exactly what it says on the tin.
It's all made up.
I like that. Poetic.
It's poetic.
Yeah.
Usually, obviously, Ben is with us. He's in France, which...
Living off the fame.
Living off the fame, which he's obviously been noticed in France, hasn't he? So our next show is going to be in Toulouse.
We're going to Toulouse to win. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see what you did there.
How'd you like that, Jojo?
For those watching, you'll probably already see we've got the fantastic JoJo Sutherland as our guest today.
I don't even know where I'm looking at.
Your camera's there if you're going to...
Is it high? Yeah. I just said to Harry, I've got the just out of bed look, and I think I'm rocking it.
Yeah. I think you look sweet in the morning.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on to do the
Thanks
podcast.
for having me.
We were just saying, obviously, you've been like in and out, but you've got your show today.
Yeah.
Fannies.
The fannies. Yeah. The fannies, big night out. Gets an earring once a year.
What is it? Just a split half an hour show?
No. It's Susan Morrison and I completely improvised an hour on stage, just talking shit to usually a bunch of middle-aged women.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So it's great. Just absolutely just nonsense.
How long have you been coming to the Fringe yourself?
Do you know what? I can't remember because I live here or used to. Do you know what I mean? I grew up here. I can't remember when I first came to the first show I ever did. I was 14 and I was in a show called The Remarkable Rocket, and I was the Rocket.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, sort of ram kids thing.
Cool.
Wow.
Yes, so that again, thinking maybe again 2004 maybe. So
As a
I
comic,
reckon 20
yeah.
years. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So, and you've done it every year since? Or?
Pretty much, in some capacity, not necessarily a solo show. So solo shows 1 year, or maybe just like this year, just doing sports, dipping in and out. Other years I've done a play, the double act with Susan, and a solo show. Every year I think I've got the right mix, and every year I never have. I've either doing too much, too little,
Yeah.
or, it's just... I actually do feel I've nailed it this year, though.
Yeah.
kind of going.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I feel like there is definitely doing too much at the Fringe. Like that is the thing. I speak to people. I'm doing like 4 shows. You're like, fuck,
why?
Yeah, exactly. Why? I know there's
4
potential to make like massive amount of money, but yeah, I think that's too much.
I think as well because you agree to the stuff months in advance, so you kind of go. It seems like a really good idea when you're a bit bored in January. Do you know what I mean? Going, oh yeah, no, I'll do that, and then, that'll be fine. I'll do, I'll do those spots, and I'll do a solo show. Oh yeah, no, I'll agree to do a play, and and then a podcast last year I did with Bruce, which was at midday, and I was like, what was I thinking? Because you have to get up.
Yeah,
exactly.
I know, I'm having that thought.
I mean, I struggled to get up today.
Well, thank you very much for getting up.
Thank you.
Is there any particular show that you've done over your time coming to Edinburgh which was like, I loved doing that one? Was there like a peak for you here? Was there like a show which stood out? Or have they all just sort of offered something different?
Yeah, I think the show I did in 2019, which was about my son, was really personal.
Right.
And was the first solo show I'd done for 5 years. That really was significant and it did kind of feel like, something had happened.
Yeah.
But it was really hard to do because it was emotional. I mean, it was funny as well. But it was emotional.
Yeah.
So the show I did last year, which was just growing old disgracefully, it was just a knockabout, just an hour just having a laugh. I really enjoyed that. And it kind of reminded me, stop trying to make a point.
Yeah.
Just have a laugh.
I think that idea though of like some people come to Edinburgh putting something to bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like show-wise, material-wise. And then some people come to Edinburgh like unearthing something that they're then going to... Like we had Emmanuel Sanubi on.
Yeah.
And he was saying his show this year is the most fun he's ever had doing a show.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, whereas, as I say, like if you're doing something that's kind of like a bit more like emotionally taxing, and maybe you've been working on it for a bit, you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm doing this every day, but once this is done, this is done.
Yeah, that's it. It's gone to bed.
And it's exciting to like figure what's going to come next.
Yeah.
Because I've been watching. I've seen George Zach's show.
Okay, I did Party in the Palace in Linlithgow with him on Saturday. Oh, coughing, that's none of us. That's great. I like that.
Yeah.
You okay, pal?
We've got a phantom cougher. I like it.
But George.
And his is really personal, isn't it? Is it about his
it's
relationship?
about Alice.
Yes.
And when we were in Dubai, he was telling me about the show, and I was like, "This sounds insane."
Yeah.
And then when I went and watched it, there was bits and pieces he's not included for the fact he said like people just wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But it's a very good show, and he's had loads of like great reviews. He's had a lot of people hugging him on the way out. But it was very good. But I think that's what I mean. It's like that show that George is doing, you can't go and do in a comedy club.
Yeah.
You have to do it in front of.
And that is kind of what Edinburgh's for. Do you know what I mean? It's that because another friend of mine, I went to see his show, and it was I can always spend an hour in his company, but he sort of alluded to a couple of things, and I was like, I want to hear more about that, but he backed out of it. And I think next year he will, but it was this thing where you're just kind of going, 20 minutes in a club, bang, bang, bang. The Edinburgh is maybe an hour to explore more and kind of go under the skin and get deeper. Do you know what I mean?
That's what Lewis keeps telling me.
Yeah.
And it's it was rhythm.
Because I'm producing Harry's grade show, and obviously we've been sort of working together now on this particular show for quite some time.
Yeah.
And for me, you're really good in a club like setting. Like even you did the Underbelly the other night, didn't you? And you said
not the assembly room.
The assembly room,
right,
sorry.
yeah.
And that was like late at night and very much your.
Best of the Fest.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, he was saying he loved it because it was very much more his setting. Like at night time, people like a bit drunk, and whereas having a 2:45 show in the afternoon, different clientele.
Yeah.
But I was saying when you come to Edinburgh, you have the opportunity to just express a bit more. Like it doesn't have to be joke after joke after joke.
No.
You've got an hour there to sort of, you were telling something pretty poignant in your life, and I think like relaxing into not having a joke come out for like a minute. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
absolutely. And I think in terms of it, comedically, that's quite a skill set again. It's another performance skill.
Yeah.
And because we're so used to getting a gag, that, over the hour you do. And I'm going to hopefully go and see Nick Wiltie after this. He's doing veteran comedian. And it's...
My dad sent me a screenshot of that today saying he was like, I should have gone and watched this.
Yeah, so I'm going to go and see that today. Because everyone's kind of talking about it. It's still not getting the numbers because Edinburgh, it's such a, but it's that thing going, his fear was, it's just not laugh a minute. Like, no, but the story's enough for it not to be laugh a minute.
Yeah.
And so I think if the story's powerful enough, you don't want it to be laugh a minute, otherwise you don't get the story across.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I've had I'm happy with the show. I'm proud of it. And when we record it in Manchester, that's what it's been gearing towards. But I've had people during the run come up to me and be like, that was very relevant, or like, I think I've got the same thing in my life with that. Yeah. So I'm happy with that. But the people, yesterday's show was fine. But I've had family come and stuff like that. And there was people last night who came from the Assembly gig. And I said to them at the Assembly gig, my show was at 2:45. I was like, the energy in this room compared to my room is so different. And when they came yesterday, I was like, I told you. I told you.
You're warned.
Yeah, because like there's certain jokes you make which people are a bit like, it's mid-afternoon. Like, I don't want to laugh at, a joke about cremation.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there should be a time of day that you can't laugh about anything. But it is. It's psychology. It's basic psychology, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, just... careful,
It's just very you're trying to match the tone of the room, but it's been great and it's been really, really fun. But I'm trying to think, what was did you have something else you wanted to mention?
No. I was just saying, before we started recording, you were talking about tramlines and the gig that you did there. It'd be good to hear a bit about that. So.
Yeah. Okay, well, my interpretation of the Tramlines was...
Tramlines is a festival, by the way, for the people
in Sheffield.
It happens in Sheffield.
It is a music festival that has a comedy tent. Comedy tent is massive, isn't it?
It's a massive tent. Yeah. And also a festival slightly in a different way. It's like a non-camping festival, because it is pretty... Well, it's at...
yes, in Hillsborough Park. Bang in the middle of Sheffield.
So it finishes at 10. So people just come for the day and then go away again. So there's... Yeah.
But it was a massive tent, wasn't it? And there wasn't many in initially.
See, and because it was so massive, there's probably about 100, but it looked like 12.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Spread out, it was proper 2 metre distance from everybody.
You're making
very COVID compliant. Out with COVID.
And you were MCing.
Yeah,
you made every excuse so far, by the way, to say why it might have not gone well.
Yeah, he's really bedding this.
I want you to know that this was not my fault.
Carry on.
But I started, because obviously you were MCing and you were like getting people in, and then when I came on stage and just started material, like you kind of, because they're not all compact and they're not close, it's very difficult to hear what is really going on, and the rain is bouncing off the tent, and what I could hear was your boy Rory and my mate Sam laughing to the left of me about 20 metres that way, and then just a fucking sea of apathy, it was one of them where I know it was when John Hastings was on. I was sat at the back laughing because I'm like, he is just going through the motions, but like no one's getting anything.
And the rain was even more torrential.
Oh God, people were videoing the rain off the tent, weren't
there?
There
were so many factors to that, and also because when I was on, I went out in amongst them. I didn't use the stage, so again, it's different dynamics, isn't it?
I'm glad when we went to Truckfest that was like enclosed in a barn.
Truckfest was a great gig.
Yeah, Truckfest was loads of fun. So they do. I talk about it in my show about like the festival gigs and like the different feels to them. But Tramlines last year was more fun than the one this year. But it's one of them, rub of the green, isn't it? You got to roll with it.
Yeah, you've got to play the cards you dealt, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Every gig is different, isn't it? It's that thing, you never crack stand-up. Yeah. It's like you're only as good as your last gig. And,
I actually got a bollocking when I came off. I say a bollocking. I got you overran because I did about 24 minutes. I was enjoying it that much. I was like, do you know what? I'm going to bed in now. I feel at ease.
Quite right.
But yeah, Brett was like, you did 24, mate. I was like, well. I've just saved someone 4 minutes of agony.
Someone else knows that they can come over early.
Yeah, you should be thanking me, mate.
I was first off the landing craft, you know what I mean?
It is. It's just such a... Yeah, those gigs. I mean, I've got a very healthy, every time I do gigs like that, going, fuck it.
Yeah.
Do you know, I can't give a shit.
You just have to lean into it, because we did that corporate, didn't we? For Booking.com. And mate, it's in Manchester this. So Booking.com were having a works do, and it was like a festival. That was type of the vibe, right? 900 people. And I remember when we got there, we're in the plant room.
There were not 900 people at our gig.
No. There was like a glitter station, wasn't there? And you could make bouquets of flowers, and then just a boy with a dream in the middle. And I remember the guy being like, if no one's in the tent, just stop. Like, just stop your show, and then when people come in, just start again. He was like, but if no one's here, don't feel like you've got to do anything. And I'm like, right, Okay, so I don't really think it really works that way.
No.
I was like, do they know it's on? He was like, yeah, but it's up to them if they want to come. And
Well, it's like, that's how Booking.com works. So it's like free cancellation, isn't it? Booking.com, like right up to the start. So it's like, oh no, I'll just cancel that.
But there was, as close as that orange sofa is, there were people like putting fake flowers together, right? Yeah, and then just me on a microphone, and then I had to introduce JoJo. And I did 20 minutes. And
Yeah, no, you did. You smashed. I think you smashed it under the circumstances.
You reckon?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I think they were throwing flowers at me, being like, "That's a death, mate." But yeah, I remember introducing you and then being like, "Right." I remember hugging you, being like, "Enjoy."
Do you know what? And I did actually, because
Yeah,
I did
did.
my usual thing of just not giving a fuck and then just getting in amongst them. So
Yeah.
It was all right.
But we are actually good at our jobs.
Oh wait, no.
Well,
yeah.
you're going to show how good you are at your jobs because we're going to get into it in a minute.
Really?
Right,
Yeah.
okay, so this is going to be All Made Up with JoJo Sutherland.
It's all made up, baby.
So, JoJo, thank you for coming once again.
you.
We are going to get into the All Made Up story with you today. So I'll just go through how it works. So basically, consider this like a writer's room.
Okay.
You're the lead writer and we're sort of your writing assistants. And
Oh,
what we
brilliant!
do-
So I don't have to do anything.
we're in
I
this
just get
together.
you to do shit.
Yeah, exactly. So basically what we're going to do is going to make up a story together. In front of you, you see 3 pots, red sentences, green ones and yellow ones. They're like starting sentences, finishing sentences and prompts in between which will sort of take the story in different directions.
Okay, cool.
But before we start diving into them, we create a character together.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you like your character's name for today to be?
Lucinda
Lucinda, right. Oh, okay. And does Lucinda have a last name?
Bower,
Lucinda Bower.
Okay.
Right.
And we got an age on Lucinda.
early 40s, but think she's in her 20s still.
Right, okay. Quite carefree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is she from Edinburgh? Whereabouts is she from?
Where is Lucinda from? No, I'm going to say she's from the home counties.
Is she quite rich?
I think she probably was quite rich.
Right.
I think yes. She's got some money. I didn't have to think about this beforehand. Did I?
No.
Oh,
It's
fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
All
This
right,
is-
Lucinda Bower. Right. Okay. Yeah, I think she's early 40s and but trying to be younger.
Right.
Yeah.
From the home counties and trying to. Yeah. Do you know that when somebody kind of doesn't quite know who they are?
Yeah, of course.
So they're trying to be something they're not, but they can't actually disguise who they really are.
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
someone doing a show about that at the Fringe right now. Yeah. I mean, who am I? I don't know.
Who am
but,
I?
it's been
What
a
do I re-
poignant.
Yeah, what do I really feel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, trying to do a blackout in a room that's 3 PM.
Okay. So she's living on the outskirts of London, let's say.
Yeah.
She's wealthy. How did she make her money? How did she make the money that she's got?
Probably inherited.
Right, inherited
Yeah.
money. Okay,
Inherited money.
so her parents still alive?
Probably not if she's inherited.
You know, I'm just thinking, is it like one of them who's died?
That's a good point.
I knew I was setting myself up for that.
Imagine. We're just going to give it you now. We've got about 20 years left alive.
Well, I tried to. I didn't know you couldn't do this, but I had like not a lot of money at one point, and I had a pension, and there was like £300 in this pension. So I rang my pension people and said, "Can I have the money? What's in my pension?"
Yeah.
They don't let you have it.
Do they
Yeah.
not?
You can't take it out. I'm like,
You can when you get to 50.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was very much 21, I think, at the time.
Yeah, no.
was
I mean,
like,
I think that
please.
is the point of a pension, is that you don't spunk it up
That
the
is-
wall.
That's funny, you being like, you're like, but I'm in my overdraft. And they're like, yeah, but you might have an overdraft at 50. So you,
That's what I mean. It's like, come
I'm in
on.
my overdraft, more like I'm in the casino.
Yeah. It's fucked.
Anyway, right. So both parents have died. It's not just like one of them.
Yeah, no, I reckon. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's early 40s. She's probably run out of parents by then, isn't she?
Yeah. Maybe she gets new ones. She's that rich, she can buy them. Wealthier ones.
Right,
So her
yeah,
parents
go
are dead. Is she single? She spouse?
Yeah, no, don't think. No, she's not in a relationship. She doesn't have kids.
So no relationship, no kids, and is the place that she's living in a flat, a house?
I think she's probably moved into the family house.
Right.
Right.
Can we just have a location on, like, could we say home counties, but like,
Shall we go for Suffolk?
okay, Suffolk, right, okay. I know naff all about Suffolk, but we're in
Have you
Suffolk.
ever
Me
been?
neither.
Right.
My mum was from Suffolk.
All right, okay.
Okay, cool.
And if she's 41 but wanting to be 21, I imagine if she's holding on to that youth, she's probably had a bit of work done.
I suspect so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the
Lips.
Botox has been. Yeah,
Right,
The
quite
lips and the
like-
Botox. Yeah. Do you know that?
Yeah,
Is
is
it?
it-
Everyone's got now.
Is it one of them where you look and you think, not like, oh, that's like, she's had work done, you think,
She's had work done.
Yeah.
You know when that face goes melted. Yeah, a bit like that.
Okay.
And has she got any sort of like ambitions? Is it like, has she got like a career that she wants to have? Is there like a relationship she wants to have? Is there anything that she's sort of striving for?
No.
Nothing. If she's
no, let's think.
if she's in her 40s but trying to live like she's in her 20s, obviously the people in the 20s now, it's about having like online fame, you know, like followers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, actually, I think maybe kind of some kind of potential what's called influencer.
Influencer vibe, yeah.
Yeah, an influencer vibe, maybe about something that is. God, I'm getting really stereotypical and.
It's fine.
Well, it'll flip on its head anyway, so we can go stereotypical and we can.
So do the sort of influencing, sort of that really kind of interior design.
All right, okay.
Those kind of jobs.
I
that
start
don't
my
really
day
exist.
with a green juice.
Yes.
And then, I just decorate my house in grey. Everything's grey.
Sort of down days, and you can kind of. I think she's quite artsy, but with fuck all talent.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, she's got the money to sort of fuel this full time. Probably.
She might even have a shop. One of the. I quite often everywhere I go, we travel so much. I always see these shops. There's one where I used to live as well, called AllMadeUp, but it's just a shop with a woman in it that sells stuff that you would just like
things.
Just little bits and bobs, kind of quite artsy, but nothing you really need in your house.
Yeah.
Nothing that you need on a daily basis, not even touristy.
Yeah.
And you kind of go,
How are you surviving?
How are you surviving?
Well, it must be because they've got the money to sort of be able to do that. It must be because it's like.
I know exactly what you mean.
There's not many shops like that.
Shops like that in every city, town, village.
Yeah.
There's just a shop that sells shit.
It's a shop that has like a wreath for every season of the year. You know what I mean? Like spring, summer, winter, and then the Christmas one's fucking enormous, right?
Yeah.
Right, okay. I like where we're going with this character. And just in terms of like, what type of clothes does she wear? Appearance-wise, how's she looking?
Linen.
Linen.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, feels linen-y. Feels
Very
a bit
flowy.
linen-y. Yeah, because I don't think she's hippy-dippy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, right,
Because-
okay.
No, I don't think... I think you get those women that are sort of like, free-spirited and spiritual and all the crystals and shit. I don't think she's that. I think she is quite... I think she's got money. I think she's quite smart. I think she's probably... I like the idea of, linen... Smart, casual, but fucking expensive. I went to a shop in when I was looking. My daughter was getting married, and just for a laugh, there's Maltese Walk in Edinburgh next to Harvey Nicks, and I saw this really nice sort of trouser suit in blue, sort of chiffony, linen-y kind of, and I went in, tried it on, looked amazing.
Yeah.
And I was like, how much is it? Now, do you know what I mean? You expect to pay more for Mother of the Bride.
Yeah.
This outfit, I mean, it was a pair of trousers and a jacket, essentially, a little cami top. £2,100.
Flipping it.
And it did look expensive, but I couldn't. 2,000. Who the fuck? Even if I had £2,100, I wouldn't spend it on that.
Well, but Lucinda would.
But I think Lucinda would.
Lucinda would.
I think Lucinda would spend.
A style is chic rather than like Balenciaga.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think she spent £2,100 on an outfit that creases really easily. It stains.
Okay. I think we've got a good idea at the moment of what this character is. I reckon we get into our first card. So, like I said before, these cards in front of you, there's a green one and there's a blank in it. So you're going to pick one of them green ones up at random and then insert Lucinda where the blank would be. And this is going to be the start of our story.
The yogurt splatter on the counter reminded Lucinda of their fondest memory.
Right, okay. Yeah. So the yogurt splatter on the counter reminded Lucinda of her fondest memory. So that could obviously be at her home, that as a customer splattered that on the counter of her work.
I mean, I go dark straight away and think about bukkake.
Do you know what? You're thinking that, and I'm like, she's like dropped it and going, I was actually in Crete once, and this yogurt's Greek. Can I just say? You're like, no, I got covered in jizz.
Yeah, but also, she's in her 40s, and she's trying to relive her 20s. So maybe in her 20s, something like that happened. You know what I mean? But before we go any deeper, we're going to pick up one of the red ones, and we're going to find out where this story's going to end.
And that was the last time the dog barked.
And that was the last time
the dog barked. I feel like she was a woman that have a dog.
Yeah, does she have a dog, Lucinda? Or does she find a dog?
Do you know what I think? Kind of again, sort of women like that. Oh God, I sound awful. Do tend to have these sort of accessory dogs.
Yeah,
like a pocket chihuahua.
Yeah.
Okay, dog.
Okay, so we've got the start. the yogurt splatter on a counter. Is this the counter in her like her kitchen? Is it where she is she? Do we?
Do you know what? Because she's got, it could be even a scenario whereby if she has this shop, you know, and it is full of, someone's come in with the kids and, do you know what I mean, just there's been an accident. So the splatter, do you know what I mean? It's just, that's something, an instant that's happened at that moment, a bit chaotic, and the kids...
Okay, so let's say this is in her shop then.
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
And, a child comes in, some, organic little boy.
One of those youth, what are those... Hill Valleys or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
An allotment of a child, as you would say.
An allotment of a child, yeah. He's got a yogurt pot that's made of wicker. Right?
Biodegradable.
Yeah, exactly. He's dropped it, and his mum. What's this kid called, by the way? Let's just give him like a. Is it Rupee?
Ben, because Ben's not here.
Okay, yeah, Ben.
Yeah, there's a Ben in here.
Benji, I think. Benji, you've dropped your yogurt, right? And obviously it's gone everywhere. What is the fondest memory she has? Is it a period in her life? It can't be. Is it a bukkake party?
No. Also, I would like to say, for the record, that's not a personal experience. I've never been in that sort of situation. Never had a bukkake party.
I would say, go on.
I think maybe maybe a kind of a childhood memory of her, maybe of her as a child, kind of doing a similar incident happening to her that maybe reminds her of her parents.
Right. Okay.
Right, okay.
So just speaking of the parents, what was their fatality? Was it did they die together? I'm
going to go for standard. He had a heart attack and she was riddled with cancer.
Right, okay.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so nice and light.
Yeah. And it's just like within a few years of each other?
Yeah, I reckon he was older than her.
Yeah.
I think he had a massive heart attack. Bit of a drinker, probably.
Right.
And then,
Okay.
cancer for the mum, breast cancer for the mum.
Okay, and this fondest memory, so how old was she when this memory happened? Was she like 4 or 5?
What if she was in her early 20s? You know what I mean? If she's trying to get back to that period in her
Right,
life,
yeah.
what if this yogurt splat reminds her of her early 20s when she wasn't at a bukkake party? Okay. And, it was maybe a moment with a... like there was an opportunity in her life where it could have gone one way, but it in fact went another. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that could be interesting. I like that.
I'm thinking, say in her early 20s, she had the opportunity to become like. I imagine she's quite an attractive woman.
Oh, I think very attractive.
So let's say she had like an opportunity to go down the route of being like some sort of top end model,
right?
And it just didn't.
Didn't quite work out.
Yeah.
I think probably because of personal tragedy. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You kind of got...
Right, okay. So I'm going to go... Right, so let's say it's set modern day. Let's say it's 2023, and 20 years ago, we're talking 2003, obviously.
Yeah.
And around that time, you had like your Kate Moss, didn't you? Things like that.
Yeah.
And at the time, like body shaming was at a peak, wasn't it? It was like... It wasn't... like Kim Kardashian day where it's like a bit like wider hips and things like that.
It was very much heroin chic, wasn't it? It was an absolute stick heroin chic. Yeah. That's what I'm pretty sure that's what it was called.
It was
heroin chic, yeah.
Right, okay.
And it was like stick thin. It was stick thin. And let's imagine, right, that she does have like a modelling opportunity, this modelling job, and this is going to make or break her. And maybe a dad or a mum comes beforehand and goes, "You forgot your packed lunch. You forgot your packed lunch."
Yeah.
And I know you don't eat a lot, but we know that this yogurt might... You know what I mean? Like, might just tide you over while you're here. But that yogurt was like full of calories. You know what I mean? But it's sort of a tainted sort of memory. It's like,
okay, I get what you mean.
My mum and dad have supported me, but through doing it, it's actually, made me feel a bit overweight. And I know it's extreme, but it was back in those days.
I'm thinking though, what if a fondest memory is she had this opportunity, right?
Right.
Which is she was going to be like a runway model.
Yeah, but
that's
what I mean. Yeah,
she gets the yogurt and is like eating it backstage, and it goes on the clothes, right?
That's
and it's immediately just like on the spot fired because it's like
she's ruined it.
Yeah. There's no replacement. Yeah. You've literally got to be out there in 30 seconds.
Yeah. Would that be a fond memory though?
But I think it was a fond memory in a sense of like it was the opportunity, but as Lewis says, like it's tainted.
Yeah, it's like it's the support. It's like she remembers back. It's like, oh, my mum and dad, like they're the ones who came and brought me this. I was starving. So that's the nice bit of the memory, and then it's tainted through what happened.
Yeah.
And in that split second, maybe, that interaction between the mother and the child,
Yeah,
Benji.
what could have happened if that hadn't happened? Do you know what I mean? It's
sliding
that real
doors.
crossroads kind of, sliding doors or crossroads moment, innit?
Yeah.
So
I think that the yogurt splatter from the kid has then triggered this fondest memory, and now she's like reflecting, oh yeah, do you remember, like...
Although even that, it could be the fact that, yes, she was kind of geared up to be this runway model and then heroin chic and all the rest of it, but maybe because that didn't happen, that is... You know, when things happen in your life, you kind of really want something to happen. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And then when it doesn't happen, a few years later, you go, oh, thank fuck that didn't happen.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it could be that was a absolute devastating moment at the time, going, fucked it. But then in retrospect went, oh my God, imagine if I had ended up like that, that would have been a nightmare. So
Right.
it could be a fond memory in that respect, going, oh, the time that it fucked it up, it was great.
Okay, but it's like where she is now in her 40s running the shop, she's not overly content.
No, that's true.
Yeah. Okay.
And she's living like she's in her 20s still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's still trying to, hang on to that.
Yeah, I think there's something like more like tragic in a way of someone who is in her 40s and that happening and being like, that was my moment,
That
and then
big break.
and it's sort of like, I mean, once again, when you think of like the modelling industry, it's changing now, but it's like, it's a young person's game, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like, if you're seeing...
Everything's a young person's game.
Yeah,
Come on.
and it's like same with like athletes. It's like when there's a fella like in his 40s trying to play five-a-side on a Monday night with like lads who are 18, and he's just kicking lumps out of them because he can't catch them. And there's something a bit pathetic about it, but you still admire it a bit because he's trying.
Yeah,
you know what I
especially
mean?
if he's on your team.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's this element with Lucinda where it's like, it's a bit like, oh, like, just give it just stop. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep chasing it. But she's struggling with that. I think that's a nice character sort of we're building there.
Right. So the kid drops a yogurt. Let's say this is like a Monday, just in the week, just to give it a bit of like a timeline. Kid drops a yogurt, and she doesn't pull the kid up on it. You know what I mean? She's like just lost in this kind of like daydream of Wow.
I think the mum goes to shout at the kid, and she's like, "No, it's fine." No.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. The kid's getting a bollocking because it's gone all over the.
Oh yeah, and it's an expensive shop, isn't it? Like,
it's an expensive shop.
Yeah.
Well, they're charging 20 quid for a fucking Swarovski crystal or something.
Yeah.
I imagine. Yeah, it's like it's decorative ornaments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But all
Little
handcrafted.
butterfly badges.
Brooches, stuff like
Who the
that.
fuck needs a butterfly badge?
My dad bought a feather the other day in Edinburgh for his hat, right? Okay, and lovely feather, but it was 38 quid.
Yeah,
oh
see?
my
And
god!
he was like,
it's that kind of shop.
yeah.
And I'm trying to pull out my pension at 21 for 300 quid, and your dad's paying a tenth of that on a feather.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
he was like,
And
nice,
you'll lose
nice.
it.
Yeah.
Nice feather. I was like,
Yeah.
might as well just put 50 quid in your hat, mate. Like,
yeah. That's
more of
exactly.
a baller move, isn't it?
Right, okay. I think we've got to our next point here. We've sort of triggered a memory. We've found a bit more out about her. Obviously, the end sentence is just to remind us of that, Jojo.
The end sentence is, and that was the last time the dog barked.
And that was the last time the dog barked. So let's just have that in the back of our minds. But now we're going to pick up a yellow card. This is just like a little bit of a curveball to take the story in a different direction. And then just in the next couple of minutes, we'll try and get this in there. So go on, what is it?
Right. The macaque might be coming back in. They loved eating arse.
They loved eating
They loved eating arse.
Okay.
So
Right, here we go.
They can still be one person.
It can,
Could be Lucinda.
It could be Lucinda, but it could also be like dogs like sniffing each other's asses, don't they?
Yes, of course.
And we need to get this dog involved in the story somehow. So
Oh, yeah, there is a lot of arse action goes on between the old dogs, isn't there?
I think, so there's this moment happened, the yogurt splatter. This
Yeah.
has triggered a memory, hasn't it, for her? When she was younger, did she also have a dog? Like when she was with her mum and dad? Do you know what I mean? I'm just thinking,
Family pet of some description, yes.
I'm thinking maybe. What do you think?
I think she has a dog now.
Right, okay.
And this is a woman that is trying to hold on to her youth, right?
Yep.
And she hasn't got any family. She doesn't really seem to have like a huge circle.
It's the same dog as when she was a kid. This dog is like 20.
but, like,
He's struggling.
Yeah. And it's had like his lips done.
Yeah, the dog's had a bit of cosmetic.
Liposuction. Suction.
It's got the biggest arse in the world. Right? But like, this dog is kind of her last She's her only friend, really.
Yeah.
So I think she accepts that her dog is a bit of a creep because it doesn't just lick.
But it doesn't smell. It doesn't just smell dogs'
it's
asses.
all over it.
Yeah, it eats them.
Yeah.
Okay.
What type of dog is it, by the way?
I thought it was a sort of ornamental dog.
Okay, so we're going like, do you want like Chihuahua?
Little Chihuahua.
What's the name of this Chihuahua?
Oh, God.
Chewy.
You know when those little dogs do get,
Because it eats ass.
Well, he eats ass. Yeah, bloody great. Yes.
Chewy? Yeah.
Because it does. Yeah.
But everyone else thinks it's like some sort of Star Wars reference, but but only when you get to know the dog.
Yeah, keep your shitter
You know
away
those dogs,
from it.
they're really cute when you first get them. They're really cute and fluffy and then they just become like gnarled old bloody pieces of wood.
Chihuahuas live for ages as well.
Yeah.
They lose the teeth
and they
in that,
lose
don't
their teeth and their eyes are.
So has it had its teeth done as
wonky.
well?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
Turkey grill.
Yeah, she's took it turkey.
Yeah.
I think this dog is the dog is basically a mimic of herself. Like it's 20, but it's acting as if it's a pup still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Just before we go any further, we usually put a name on like the business of whatever character we've got. So she's running a shop, isn't she? What's the name of this shop?
I think it's called Dreams.
Dreams. Yeah. I was thinking something like, it's like timeless, that like element of it could mean anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dreams,
right, okay.
Because I think as well, because her dream is not being satisfied and
Well,
so it's kind
dreams where your dreams come true.
And not with a Z. She's not that tacky.
Okay,
I mean, these people that reconfigure words with letters that should never have been there.
Yeah.
Okay, dreams. And the dog's called Chewwy. So she's obviously having a little walk to work, I imagine, every day. Takes the dog with her, and the dog is just,
I think she just puts it down to have a shit. I think she carries it everywhere.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
She carries it, and then like it loves eating arse, this dog. So
is it its own arse though? Could be its own arse.
It could be its own arse.
Could be its own arse.
I don't think.
Yeah, because dogs lick
are
themselves.
odd.
Yeah,
Still lick
Willie.
their own
Think about
arse.
my cat, Willie. It's always licking its own
cat's more
arse.
dexterous than a dog, mate.
Yeah, I know, but Chewwy is.
She's a little dog. You get right. Yeah.
Like what's it called? Slinky. Just folding back on himself.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So are we going to go that it just it loves eating its own ass?
They love it. It could be a gender fluid, non-specific, non-binary dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think if this dog, no matter whose arse or its own arse,
it's 10 out of 10 effort.
Yeah, it's just like I just love eating arse.
Yeah.
I just love doing it.
Love eating arse.
Right, and obviously towards the end, it's like this. It's gonna potentially pass away, this dog, because it's gonna bark for the last time, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
'Cause it's just,
Yes. So that in the back of our mind, obviously, this is, like I said, an embodiment of Lucinda, because she keeps trying to get younger. But the thing is, with a dog, they don't live. I mean, getting to 20 in itself is.
Dog must be like 100.
Well, in dog years, yeah. So I think when it does come to that end point, maybe it's that sort of fusion between Lucinda and Chewwy. She'll like sort of be like, yeah, I can't keep doing this. Once he dies, that's like, the game's over.
The dream's over.
The dream's over, yeah. Yeah, I like that. And maybe at some point she's like, yeah, this shop isn't working for me either. And it's a complete 360 on like what her life is, or 180 should I say,
Well, that's
360.
quite often what happens, isn't it? It's a catalyst like that makes you to make all these big life decisions.
Yeah.
The dream's over.
So the only bits we see of our life though are within this shop. You know what I mean? Maybe
No, but what I'm thinking is, I reckon an opportunity comes up. I reckon a modelling opportunity comes up. Either she's seen it online or she's seen it in a paper that gets dropped off at the shop, a magazine subscription, and there's an opportunity for a model which she thinks she fits the brief of, and she goes for it. You know, just take it.
What if it's like a Marks and Spencer's? I'm thinking like Marks and Spencer's is more of like a grown up.
But remember, she does think she's trying to act as if she's in her 20s. You know what I mean? Like, she's vain in that way.
Yeah. But I think she's like, but maybe this could work, but then gets the knock back on, but you don't look your age.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? It's like, if you just accepted who you were, you'd have this role and you'd be able to have the dream that you want. But the fact you fail to accept who you are, you can't, You get what I mean?
What do you think? What do you think, Jojo? What do you think?
But I see what you, because it's Marks and Spencer's. You kind of think she might sort of shop in trendy sort of.
I'm thinking bigger. I'm thinking more like Vogue magazine, Elle magazine. It's like a runway model sort of job. It's a similar opportunity to what she had when she was 20, but she's older this time. You know what I mean?
Well, we just go Dior then.
Dior. I think there's something like that where she's like, I'm gonna go for it again. This memory of the yogurt pot, it's triggered something. I'm going for it again. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. Yes, take another chance.
Yeah, exactly. I think this has really triggered something in her to go for it again. So let's say this job comes through. Is it through a magazine? Is it through? Does she have an agent still, or what? Is it?
Well, maybe it is that thing that she's seen an advert. She's maybe seen an advert for that, but has already dismissed it, going, you know. Do you know what I mean? But the yogurt memory triggers it, so that she then, you know, picks up this mango and then goes, actually,
I'm going for this.
I'm going to go for that, because they have these. They do have the sort of older lady but looking younger kind of. The persona that they do use, adverts do use that for sort of these holidays, sort of adventure holidays. They're trying to encourage older people to do it because older people think it's a younger person's game, but it's kind of,
exactly.
Sort of,
There's an opportunity for her there, but beforehand she wasn't going to do it. Yogurt memory triggered, right, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
Let's get back on this path.
She looks at the name above her shop, she's like, I can do this.
Yeah, definitely.
If I'm going to work in dreams, I need to follow them.
Be the dream you want to be.
Oh, imagine it says that on all the bags that she goes with her items.
Tote bags.
Okay, cool. So we have another prompt in there then?
Yeah, I reckon we go for another prompt. She's on her way to an audition for, let's just settle what this audition is for. Is it for Dior? Is it for a holiday sort of cruise? What is it for?
I think it'd be like a holiday type thing.
I think holiday.
Right, so let's say
adventure holiday for the more mature lady who isn't old. Do you know what I mean? It's that mentality, because older women are getting younger. Hi.
So in this audition, they wanted to like do things like kayaking.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Bit of rock climbing.
Yeah.
Maybe some like archery. You know what I mean? I'm thinking like Centre Parks type.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly it.
Okay, so let's say, just before we get the prompt out, where is the destination of this audition taking place? Is this like inner city London, because she's on the outskirts,
I reckon
isn't
so,
she?
Yeah.
London-centric.
Yeah. Right, nice. So she's got the tube into London. Let's get a prompt.
Right.
Another yellow.
Another yellow.
My God, my eyesight is getting appalling. On Tuesday, they asked the most regular question.
The most regular question?
Yeah. On Tuesday.
The most regular question.
Right, well, you said...
No, they didn't. That's...
I was like... It sounded so like...
It sounds that really well. What it says. It says... On Tuesday, they asked the most peculiar
question.
That's the regular.
I'm thinking, right, peculiar question.
Right, okay, well, this is interesting.
Oh, that's interesting. Yes,
because before you mentioned that it was a Monday.
Yeah.
So obviously, she's took the trip into town. She stayed overnight. Audition's on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
She's gone to the audition.
Yeah.
What is this peculiar question that she's asking? Maybe she's got into the audition room. Who's sat on the panel? Yeah. Is it like...
Is that your dog eating its ass?
I can't believe I wrote that. It's regular.
I imagine it's peculiar in a sense of... It's almost like a little bit offensive to her as a person, you know what I mean? Like,
right, so the question is asked to her. She's not asking the question.
On Tuesday, they asked the most peculiar question.
So, like, the person who's hosting the audition for this modelling role.
Yeah.
Right, it has to be peculiar. Okay.
Yeah, like, let's just say, like, if someone had, like, a massive birthmark on their face,
right,
you wouldn't ask a question that draws attention to it. So I'm thinking if she's had loads of work done, they can ask a question that is, like, so peculiar, but, like, almost... makes I forget her name.
Lucinda
feel like a bit of, you know, like it questions herself but makes her feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
It's that kind of because if you're going in for an audition for something that like you've got an idea of what you're going in for, then they said, you know, what is your
if someone was like, how much filler have you got in your face?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
how much filler have you got?
How much filler
in
is in your face?
Just to sidetrack, I did an audition for Lynx, which I didn't know it was for Lynx until I got there. And basically the audition was, they threw a can of Lynx at me. Not just like wazzing it at me. Yeah. I was turned around and they'd go, action. And then I'd turn around, they'd throw the can of Lynx. I was to catch it and then like make like a knowing sort of look to the camera. Anyway, I go for the audition and it was like, action, turn around, throw it, go to catch it and I drop it. And they go, all right, okay, let's try that again. You can use both hands, that's no problem. And in my head, I'm thinking, there's no fucking way I'm using both hands. I'm going one hand. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Mouth.
Yeah, Ali.
So then happens again. Action. Go. One hand. Drop it a second time. Obviously, there's 4 or 5 people in this audition, like director, producer, and I can feel the tension sort of building up. And then they go, right, okay, do it again, but both hands this time. I do it both hands, and then they go, you know what? I think you could do a different role here. Could you pretend to be on a bicycle, ride up to a girl who's sat on a bench, and then offer to buy her an ice cream? Bearing in mind, there's no bike in this audition room.
Right.
So I'm low down to the floor, pretending I'm on this little mini bike, flirting with a girl who isn't there, asking for buying ice cream, and I'm very confident that role didn't exist.
Yeah, they was just
Yes.
Oh, mate.
Yeah,
When was that?
I was about 4 or 5 years ago. I went all the way to London for it.
Wow.
And then didn't hear anything back, so I don't think it went well.
Yeah.
So
Do
annoying.
you think after dropping it the first time, you were like, I ain't getting this role?
Yeah, it was just like, it weren't a great time.
How much were they paying for the Lynx ad?
Well, I did an advert for a delivery company and that paid like 1,500 quid and I was in it for like a second delivering nappies. So I imagine that would have been a pretty penny.
Drop them everywhere as well, didn't you?
Yeah. Nappies on the floor. Anyway, back to it. I do like the question that you said about the filler. How much filler?
Yeah.
That is a weird question to ask.
Because like...
Yeah, it's a weird question to ask about somebody who's doing an audition to be, young and kind of...
What if she says Lucinda, could you just tell me how old you are? Because on your sheet here it says 42. But how old are you?
Yeah, well, you do a playing age, don't you? When you're going for an audition.
Yes, playing age.
And maybe
35 to 50.
But she's put it a bit younger, I think.
Yeah.
I think she's like, I can play 28 to 38, and she's actually 45.
Yeah.
So, go on. That's the same question.
So, it's like, how old are you? You know, what's your actual age? And I think Lucinda,
well, let's role play it. If you could do Lucinda, JoJo,
okay.
and you be the casting director. Your name is.
I imagine it is like Devil's Wear Prada, like you know what I mean, that type.
Julio.
Julio.
Yeah.
I was thinking more female, but okay.
Oh right, okay.
I'll be Julio.
Yeah, I think Julio sounds nice for that sort of.
Okay.
Close to Harry. Yeah.
Lucinda.
Yes.
Interesting name.
That's just funny. Interesting name.
So, Lucinda, obviously, thanks for coming in. Much appreciated. On your CV, your resume, you've mentioned that your age is 42. Is that correct?
Well, a gentleman should never ask a lady's age.
I'm not a gentleman. I'm a bigger bitch than most of them. So was it? Are you 42? Because this role is for someone that's a little bit more, kind of seasoned.
Oh well, I think. I can play an age range between, I'd say, 28 and. I think age is just a number. It doesn't have to be defined by my actual birthday. So, shall we go with 38?
38. Okay.
Julio, here's your Frappuccino. Thank you. I knew that you wanted that from earlier.
Thank you very much. That is superb. Thank you very much, Todd.
Do I not get one?
No. But this is... You're a big hand.
Thank you. I'll use my big hand later, Tom.
So 36, and just obviously you've got some gaps in between. Your last modelling job was at 20, I believe, and between then it just says dreams for 20 years.
Everyone does fulfill that. Everyone wants to be fulfilling their dreams, having a lovely time. So yeah, I think beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and it is, we don't want to be in this day and age fixating on people's ages. And so I think it's important that we can be fluid about, someone who is more mature but has the much more youthful and adventurous spirit.
Okay. I can see what you're saying, but my only issue is you're obviously saying you're 36, your real age.
I'm saying I'm 38, actually.
38, okay, but on the sheets there's 42. Physically,
that's a playing age.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to figure out, precisely like what's going on, with the above the neck.
How much filler have you got in your face?
Yes.
I think that's what you were trying to say, wasn't it, Julio?
Yeah.
That's
How much
a very peculiar question.
Not to be blunt, Lucinda, but we do.
But it's quite a lot.
Yeah.
I feel that's quite unnecessary.
Unnecessary. Well, it's just for this role, we're kind of looking for someone that looks their age, and
What age would you like me to be?
That's exactly the sort of attitude we're looking for here.
Yeah.
I think we give her the role. I think that there hasn't been anyone else actually apply for
really.
Yeah,
okay. So we just
Let's
just give her a fucking
just
go.
give it to me. That sounded rude.
Okay. Our last question is your dog going to continue doing that? Because fantastic technique, but he's going to chew through himself.
He does like.
He's going to chew through himself.
It's called Chewwy.
Okay, well,
Right. Okay. I like that. So she's got the role. Where is that? Because it's like you said before. This advert is going to be like kayaking. It's going to be like her on like zip wire and thing like that. Sort of like on this adventure.
Hot pants. I want her in hot pants, guys.
okay.
So she's in hot pants as well. I think it isn't in. I reckon they're flying her out somewhere in order to film this commercial.
Do you know who she's just reminded me of? Literally has just come into my... Visualise Melinda Messenger. See who it is, isn't it? Do you know who Melinda Messenger is?
No, go on.
So Melinda Messenger was a sort of fantastic, beautiful model and is much older now and sort of that young attitude, but looks like she's had a lot of work done.
All right. Okay.
I'm thinking
Google
of...
Melinda Messenger.
There's an actor in Thelma... Is it Thelma and Louise? The ginger-haired lady in Thelma and Louise. Yeah. Do you know who there's a ginger-haired actor.
I've got like Cher in my head.
Cher.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean?
It's that same sort of...
Like gorgeous when she was younger.
Yeah,
Yes.
and sort of hanging on to it and still kind of gorgeous, but not.
Yeah, because it's like, I think Julia Roberts looks great, and she's in her 50s, but she doesn't like she's had anything done.
Well, who is it? Monica from Friends. It's all these women, isn't it? Jennifer Aniston as well. They're all absolutely stunning and are still beautiful women. But I think would be more beautiful if they hadn't.
Well, that's the difficulty of the industry, isn't it? It's like society's pushed them towards that, and you sort of think like, yeah, it's upsetting in a way that you feel like you have to do that, but understand why you are doing it. You know what I mean?
Okay, right. So let's say she's flown her out. This is a European
commercial.
We're going like France.
Right. So let's say that she goes to do this commercial in France. So it's sort of like
in the southwest region. Like you're talking 45 minutes from Nice, right? Mountainous.
Yeah.
It's got lots of like lakes. Do a bit of kayaking in the sea if you wish, right? So they got her there. It's a week shoot, 3-day shooting, with kind of split between days of travel and whatnot. And she obviously takes the dog.
Takes the dog, shuts up shop, shuts up the dreams.
Yeah, I like the idea of her being out there and it's going well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like she is actually fulfilling that dream, and there's like that. It's almost going too well.
Well, she's landed the job, which she didn't do the first time round. Like, you know what I mean? So there's this...
Yes, so it is. It's that whole going back to that kind of the yogurt that triggered the thing that, she's gone for this advert.
Yeah.
That she has got.
Yeah, she's got it.
Yeah, absolutely nailing it.
Julio's impressed, yeah?
Yeah, well, Julio was casting director, wasn't he? He wasn't the director. I think he's just sent her out. She's got the job. But yeah, he can be there.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, first day's climbing, she's nailed that, right?
Yep.
Second day was sea kayaking, and she's absolutely nailed that.
Yep.
And then the third day of filming is mountain biking, right? And maybe she could.
No, the third day is like usually if it's for like a holiday where there's like loads of experiences, there's also like I think about like the cruise ship sort of commercials, and there's like that scene of them at the dining table, you know, like a food situation.
Yep.
And obviously the last time there was food about during one of these shoots, it went all over herself. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
Like this thing that she's ruining, is she ruining like an expensive ball game for this particular part of the holiday? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Where you're having loads of different environments, like on P&O cruises and shit like that.
I like that. I'm also thinking, it was safe the last one was a skydive.
All right, okay.
Okay. And
Right, okay.
yeah, and I just think the idea of, because have you ever done a skydive?
Not never.
I did one a few years
Never
ago,
will.
and they're great, like really, really, really fun.
Are they?
Oh
Are
yeah,
they?
honestly, it is superb. I remember being at the door of the plane, and we jumped from 15,000 feet in Barcelona, and I remember being like, if the chute doesn't open, you aren't going to feel it. Like it'd be a terrifying.
It would be instantaneous.
You pate, right? But
It would be exhilarating.
You'd splatter, mate.
But the free fall, free fall was you fell 10,000 feet in 60 seconds. But obviously it got videoed, and I remember I didn't realise how much skin was on my head. My forehead like nearly folded back on itself, and I just like the idea of her going out of this and like her face not moving, but like the rest of the skin on her body just, you know, like, yeah. But like it's like she's got like one of them
like
Guy
rolling
Fawkes
waves
masks on.
everywhere else.
Like it just doesn't move.
Yeah. That is good.
But the instructor that went with her, because obviously it's like a tandem, she's not going to be jumping on her own. They've kind of like struck a bit of chemistry between them, right? So like she's had the dream job, it's gone really well, and she's also kind of met this person where there's this like spark between them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I get what you mean. Right. Okay. Yeah. So there's been like a connection between.
Yeah. Everything has gone so well, right? Like she's like wow. But obviously we're getting to the point where this dog is going to die.
Yeah.
I think that's it's like.
Yeah.
She's like, I just can't have it all. You know what I mean? The lesson for this story for me is that you just need to accept that things are transient, things move on. Like her look's moved on. The dog's going to move on.
Because the dog's in the advert with her, isn't it? But again, I'm sort of maybe seeing when you were saying about the cycling. You know, you see those women cycling along with a little dog in the front basket.
Yeah.
One of them
Something could go horribly wrong.
Yeah. They've sort of pinned its neck,
the dog
barking away in the basket.
Yeah, looks like a bite lock.
Yeah. Okay. So everything's gone well. She's met this guy, and then is it? Because I was thinking, like, if she didn't bring the dog, right? If she didn't bring it and she left it at home with Dreams, and she had like a carer for it, and she's gone off. She's had this amazing experience. She's found someone new. It's time to go back home, where she's left Dreams and the dog behind to sort of focus on herself.
Yeah.
And when she's come back, the dog has had its last day. Do you know what I mean? That sort of.
So she comes back and the dog is dead.
Brown bread.
But I'm just thinking. I don't know. I'm just offering.
Well then, because then isn't it that sort of because she's not reignited her career, but you know that's a sort of anecdotal. Oh my God, where have you been? Dreams was shot. Why was Dreams shot for? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's that sort of.
Okay.
So when she's come back, the dog.
So the dog stayed at home the entire time.
I think it would be realistic to assume that she didn't bring the dog to a set while she's like mountain biking, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's left everything behind to go and pursue a dream. But when she comes back, like Dreams is like the dog's died, and she thinks, right, well, do I need Dreams anymore? Do you know what I mean? I'm just trying to knit something together for an ending.
Right.
What are you thinking?
I think for me, the moral of the story is she has to accept that things just move on.
Right, okay.
That's the bit for me. So like, I think the final bit of the dog dying for her like is igniting that level of acceptance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
So let's say, the shoot goes really well, and she ends up heading. How long are we doing on time, by the way?
Oh, right, yeah, but we're literally close to wrapping it up in terms of just this little section. I've got it. I have fucking got it.
Oh, hello. You say that.
Right. How about this? Right. So, no, the dog wasn't left at home. The dog did come.
Yep.
It was in the adverts.
I think,
It was in the adverts, right? Shoot's gone well. Smashed the shoot. She's gone back home to England. She's in dreams. She's with the dog. But the dog, like, there are complications with the dog and the dog passes away. It's just through old age, dog passes away. Anyway, the advert comes out. The advert comes out like a month later.
Right, I get what
She's
you're
watching it with a new fella. They're at the shop or they're at home. The advert
she's
plays.
met on the set, by the way. Yeah, she's
That
met
she's
on
met, exactly.
the set.
The fella she's met on the set, of course. They're watching the TV. The advert plays, and the last shot in the advert is of the dog barking, and that's the last time the dog barked.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that very
I think that's a nice way of ending it.
Yeah.
Are we happy?
I like that.
Right. Amazing. That was brilliant.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It had levels to it in a way that was actually quite like heartfelt and sad.
Yeah. It was a heartfelt story, that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What I will say, Jojo, is we literally just have a tiny break. We come back, we think of the name of the film, what the soundtrack could be for it, and what the poster would look like. And you'll offer a line for the pot for the future, but it takes 5-10 minutes max. Is that all right?
Well, clever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be back very soon.
Just a little bit.
And we're back.
Hey, that was quick.
Like I said, Jojo, fantastic story. Thank you very much for making it with us.
Yeah,
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
having me. Do you know, it was genuinely, I don't prepare for anything, genuinely. And I knew it was something we made up, but then I was like, that was great fun.
Yeah, it's just silly, isn't it? Like you can go in so many different ways with it. But I think that's the first character we've had where I was like, I felt like you were rooting for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We've had people. There's been like there's been flaws to them, but there's been like a bit of a dark side to it.
Right, okay.
But that was actually quite like, I can imagine that being. It felt like the film The Holiday.
It does feel a little
Yeah.
bit rom-com, but not too icky, not too sickly.
What we like to do, Jojo, is find out what we would title these films.
Right,
Whether
okay.
we usually like a play on words, something a bit punny. So obviously there's like the cosmetics element, there's the dreams element, modelling element, the dog.
Yeah.
Like what could this film be called?
You feel like it's Lucinda. It's like Lucin something, isn't it? There's a play on words.
Yeah.
Lucin.
I'm trying to think.
Lucinda Jungle or Lucinda.
I'm trying to think of the idea of like a face. You know what I mean? It's like A Wrinkle of Time. That like.
It's like Lucinda Industry.
Plastic Fantastic kind of.
Plastic, yeah.
Because she accepts in the end, doesn't she? So.
Yeah, she believes in herself towards the end, and it's like, I've moved on.
Oh God, this one's killing me.
Right.
Let's come up with a poster.
Yeah. So while we're thinking about that, we will come up with what the poster will look like. So what if this was like a bus shelter and you were walking past it? It was an advertisement for the film. How would we think the poster would look? Would it be her, like front and center, like with the dog in a little bag? Would it be
Like Legally Blonde, that type of.
Yeah. So it's a bit like the sort of period adverts, sort of white trousers and roller skates, isn't it? It is that sort of loosen your dreams or something.
Yeah.
It's like I imagine like a Mamma Mia type poster, you know, lots of like smiling.
Could even be a musical, you know.
It could be a musical.
Could be a bloody musical.
Yeah, I like that.
What if the film is called Chasing Your Tail?
That is very good.
Oh, I like
Because
that.
Because it's got the double meaning with the dog.
Yeah, she's constantly.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
think that's very good.
Yeah.
I think it embodies the work what we created today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chasing the Tail's the title. Is that what we're going to go with?
I reckon Chasing the Tail,
Right.
Chasing Your Tail.
Chasing Your Tail.
Is the title. On in terms of poster, it's like Legally Blonde-esque, like her front and centre with maybe the shop in the background of dreams, and it's selling all sorts of different types of ornaments that you see.
Yeah.
The S is kind of falling off.
Yeah. The S is falling off. Yeah, I like that. Soundtrack for the film. Like if we was watching the trailer, what is the music that we'd be going with it?
Gotta be something by Elton John in it.
Elton John?
Yeah, it's got to be sort of.
I'm Still
Rocket
Standing.
Man or I'm still standing.
No, but I think it is a bit more like Rocket Man. That sort of boom, boom. No, that's not Rocket. It's I'm thinking Benny and the Jets there, aren't I?
Yeah.
That.
Rocket Man is.
How does it start?
I packed my bags last night, pre-flight.
I think it is something more like that.
9 a.m.
Right, if you imagine
is it a ballad then? Like, is it a big song?
I think it's a I think it's a big song.
Cyndi Lauper, True Colours.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because I can see your true colours shining through.
Your true colours shining through. Yes, that's it.
You're smashing it today.
You are smashing it. I'm just slightly going back to the title with the chasing your tail, but if it's that chasing your dream is harness your dreams, or because there's more of, I don't know.
Okay, harness your dreams.
Harness your dreams.
Like,
Catch your dreams. Yeah. I do like chasing your tail, but just because of the dreams thing.
Well, we can have a tagline.
Yeah, so we usually have a tagline as well with it.
Right,
so maybe it's chasing your tail, and it'd be a question like, can everyone harness their dreams? Do you know what I mean? Underneath is like the little tagline with it.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lyric in a J. Cole song, and it starts and it says, "What's more important?" I've got to get this right. What's more important, gaining or letting go? And I'm not saying that that's like the tagline, but I thought that is quite a good, good way of looking at things. Because I feel for her that kind of embodies she has to let go, but also to gain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're getting very deep with this one. This is very deep.
So maybe she's you're rooting for her.
Yeah.
Right. So chasing your tail.
Yeah.
True Colours. Tagline, chasing your tail. Life's about the wrinkles. I don't know.
A wrinkle in time.
A wrinkle in time.
A wrinkle in time.
A wrinkle in time is great.
Chasing your tail. A wrinkle in time. I think that's really nice.
Yeah.
A wrinkle at a time.
A wrinkle at a time.
Chasing your time, one wrinkle at a time.
Yeah. I like that.
Chasing your tail, one wrinkle at a time. We've fucking got it, all right?
We always do.
Already done the poster. Song, True Colours, Cyndi Lauper, which I like. Last thing we'd like, Jojo, just before we leave, is a line to offer for the pot for a future guest.
A line to offer the pot?
Yeah, so it can be just a sentence which you can think, which another guest has to deal with.
Oh, so somebody gave you that?
Yeah, we've created them. So some people send them in, and then guests offer one for the pot. But it could be any type of line, and then we'll decide if it's going to be an end, start.
Right, okay. So, and then the monkey closed the door.
Okay.
There we go.
Like
that sounds
can be
great.
used in so many different ways.
And then the monkey closed the door.
Yeah.
Buzzing.
Perfect.
Right.
Jojo, is there anything you would like to plug, tell people where they can find you? Because this has probably come out in the next 4 or 5 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Oh, I've no idea. I'm gigging up and down the country, and then I'm back on tour with Jonathan Pye.
Right, yeah, nice.
And then I'm back to Australia, and then I'm going to have my own solo show next year. I'm going to go on tour. But yeah, I'll be in a comedy club somewhere telling jokes to someone.
Cool. Well, we'll put your details in the description of the pod anyway, and get you tagged in everything.
Cool.
So
follow me on Instagram. See you getting drunk.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you doing it. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks so much for having me. That's been great fun. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much, guys. Like we've said before, get involved. Keep sending in your prompts for guests to deal with. It's been very, very good so far, and excited for the next one. That has been All Made Up with JoJo Sutherland. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Bye.
It's all made